Hello, everyone. It is Kenyon here, Basketball Rewind on location. Not going to say, not going to disclose, because right now it is hot in Raptors land. Holy smokes. But before we get into that, Beyond, how are you doing, man? Happy holidays to everyone, and like, comment, and subscribe on the way in. So, yeah. Yeah, how are you doing, man?
Yeah, I am good, man. I can't complain, man. Life is good. It's been fun. I told you just before we started, man. It's been something else in Raptorland. But
I, I,
overall, thank you for asking. It's great, man.
I met a Brunson fan recently. He was a very happy man yesterday. So,
Oh,
whenever
really?
I don't know, what, but he was just yes. So,
Nice.
yeah, let's get into it. Today we're just gonna mainly be talking about Raptors, how they've been doing. Kind of, I recapped the game before the Nets. Didn't get a chance to recap the Nets. Watched it. Didn't get a chance. But we should really, because they've been win one, lose one, and they were losing the wrong one, and I find that really interesting. Some of the things that we've talked about, it's going to be a little bit of a retread, but there's definitely some new trends that are emerging. I'm not sure if you want me to mention some of the new trends first before we get into it. So I just had a quick. You're like, nah.
No, yeah, yeah, say yeah. Let's,
Oh,
let's
okay.
go, let's go get into it, man.
We are.
Where do you
So
want to
this is
start?
over the past 10 games. Okay, we're 24th overall in net rating in the NBA. On offense, we have an offensive rating of 107, which is good for 30th in the league. Now, I did see a certain man tweet, a very proud Scotty fan, tweet about how RJ fixes none of this. I agree. RJ doesn't really fix all this. However, you probably wouldn't be the worst in the NBA on offense. But before we get into that, let's get into a couple more stats. In terms of drives, this is a very interesting thing. Last 10 games, we are the seventh worst team in the NBA for drives. Now, interestingly enough, we are the eighth worst team is the Pistons, but they have a completely different offensive structure than us, and so the results show as a result of that. So those are my stats for this time that we can kind of mosey on over and talk about. Of course, a lot of people's efficiencies are dropping, but let's get into it. The Raptors just lost shellacking. Doesn't even matter what the score is. You got 130 hung on you by the Washington Wizards,
Hey,
Washington
don't cheat it,
Commanders.
man. I was 140, my friend. Don't go.
I'm trying to be nice here, but it wasn't looking good. Um, there's it was the type of situation where a lot of people did a lot of soul searching after, and I believe it was during the game. I'm not sure which feed it was, but there was a comment about how one of the announcers mentioned how Bi has been begging Darko to play Battle because Battle is good for spacing. So that was also interesting. CMB has gotten some more minutes, and he's done well in some minutes. I mean, without him, they probably wouldn't win Miami. To be honest, those 12 rebounds were in that. I believe he had a double double that game. Wouldn't have that. Beyond your thoughts, especially let's focus on the Wizards because I think there's an overall trend. The Raptors have won 3 games for December. Sorry for those who were part of that live stream before. It's not going so well. That 8-4, not looking great.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that record, right? And just listening around your old Raptor ecosystem, and everyone now is coming to the realization that we had mentioned about a couple of weeks ago how this team hasn't really looked quite right when they won their pseudo championship against the Pacers. At that time, they had become 14-5 at that point, and everything was working well. They're about to get the ticker tape parade going. Oh
Yes.
man, look at that! Woo, game winner, Bi, the man. This game here. Oh man, get Indiana
Over
Pascal.
Siakam.
I'm sitting there going like, okay. And I did a podcast with the 9-game winning streak. Like, hold on, folks. There's a lot of stuff underneath here that doesn't look good. It might look good now, but this is the classic pure cosmetic stats, pure Revlon stats moment right here, guys. Don't get fooled with the numbers. And up to now, people are still recalling the numbers. Oh, this, that, what type of defense we are. You've been making hay off that 9-game winning streak, guys. And you caught some good breaks. Let's be honest with it. I'm not taking the wins. A win's a win. But now here we
Yeah.
are now, and
You
we're looking
played
at
the team in
the
front of you for sure.
well, exactly. And now we're looking at the losses. Now they've had losses to Charlotte twice in this month. They've lost to Brooklyn. Okay, they've now lost to Washington. Folks, if that is not the easiest part of the schedule, I don't know what is. To see what's coming down the pipe, folks. Okay, in the next 5 games, woo. I always tease about this, and you know me, man. This is about the same time last year when I call it the week of futility. It started on Boxing Day last year at the same time, and right now we're having the sequel.
Yeah. The latest I heard was apparently Scotty might be tired because his wife is I'm not sure if it's his wife. His significant other is expecting another
Yes.
child,
Yeah.
which yes, I understand. Children are a lot. Sleep. Shout out to all fathers out there. However, you are an NBA player. You make millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars each year. You can afford a nanny. Uh, um, you could afford a lot of things. You could afford to get a slightly better sleep than the average father. More or less.
I mean,
Just saying.
I've seen.
I'm not
I've
buying
heard,
this excuse.
of course not. You think he's the only father in the NBA? Like, seriously? Like, I'm pretty sure there's about 440 players in the NBA or something like that. I'm pretty sure
A couple of them have some. Listen, Ant is on 7.
right, right.
He
We don't go
looks
the
spry as anything. He looks
right.
ready
We're
to
not
go.
going to go the exponential factor on this. I'm just saying right now, 440, 430 dudes. Probably half of them are fathers, if not more. Probably maybe 2/3 of them in this case here. And these guys are talking about, oh, poor Scott. Like, give me a break, man. Like,
I'm not even trying to make this comparison. Sorry to interrupt you, but Cade was a father when he got into the NBA.
I'm just shaking my head, man. Like, it's like this is where we're going to. This is what we're doing, folks. Hey, but then again, hey, man, I wouldn't say it. I'll just say this, man. I've had some interesting conversations the last 48 hours with the Raptor fandom, and I don't think they know what they're coming or going at this point. I'll say this:
Injury conversation. What do you mean?
injury. No, interesting. I meant interesting.
I was like,
Oh,
people
yeah.
talking about injuries again?
Oh no, but that has come up as well too, right? That has come up as well too. So
Was it
yes.
the hand, the goggles?
Well, it's injuries in this case with other players, as if that means a difference if Pirtle's playing or not. Pirtle's not making much of a difference these days, guys. He ain't.
This year, when he's healthy, his back has looked so bad. He's just a shell
He
of
might
himself.
not play. Yeah.
So yeah, he's better off not playing at size because it actually hurts the team when he's not at 100%.
Right. And I'm looking here, I'm like, dude, there's nothing to save you from this, man. Because I think the problem they have, and this is the part I think leading to the Washington game, is the revelation now people understand that, oh, right, this offense is as good as they think it is because usually they get their points based on fast breaks or quick mismatches when you run down, beat the other big down the court. Well, folks have caught on to you after about 2-3 weeks, guys. They caught on to you. And with the defense now struggling, you're taking the ball your own hoop a lot more, which means it's 5-on-5. And so I'm looking around here. I was like, wait, like RJ will help with some of this, the relief some pressure because he's one of the few guys that actually can, I guess, create some type of foul and some type of friction. Because the rest of these dudes, man, they don't want none of this. Tell you right now, man. There's a softness that this team is starting to come to.
Beyond, I think I'm losing you a little bit.
I would lost you for a second there. There you go. We're back.
Okay. We're back. We're back, folks. And so, no, there's definitely a softness that the team plays with, and I think it starts with the leadership. I think it starts. We can start with Darko if it makes people feel more warm and fuzzy, just like Darko does, and we can go all the way down, and it includes the star player as well. Because at the end of the day, and that also includes Brandon Ingram, but Brandon Ingram came to a team. So I think that is also important. He came to a team. He has become a leader while being here. He is a veteran player, but ultimately, Brandon Ingram, we knew what Brandon Ingram was.
Well, that's the thing.
So, right? Yeah. So, go for it.
Yeah, like if you think about it, the only two guys are kind of delivering to what you expect them to do was RJ and Brandon Ingram. whatever that is,
on a
like,
consistent basis. Now,
on
I
a
will.
consistent basis. Yeah,
Scotty has been on the whole. This is a up season. This is a good season for him. He's, numbers wise, he's up there. He's probably up there from a all-star consideration standpoint and all that kind of stuff. However, there is a consistency factor that if you are going to be paid and treated like, we'll just forget about whatever. People have compared him to Luka Doncic. Okay, so if you're talking about MVP, where they're like, he's going to win multiple championships, he's going to get multiple MVPs, he's going to go all this type of stuff, he's the face of the league. Okay, if you're going to tell me talking that, like the big boy pants, you got to come correct, right? And just call a spade, right? Like right now, he has not performed as a, let's call it, top 5 player in the NBA. There are levels, and that's just that. Because those top 5 players are not going to, night in and night out, they perform. They know where they're going to get their spots, or know where they're going to get everything off. Now, that said, again, he has played really well. It's a really good year for him, and kudos to him.
right. And there's this point here where I want to bring up where people think in this case here, because you're critical of Scotty, all of a sudden you got some issue in this case here. It's what we're observing, folks, and holding him to a standard in this case that you would hold any star player to. And this idea in this case here, oh, you'd be redundant. No, sometimes you got to be straightforward with it. It's just fact. If you're playing in this case, you have a losing streak and you're going in to play Brooklyn, you got to grab the team by the scruff of your neck and say, we will not lose tonight. Sorry. Yep. Sometimes it is that simple. Ain't no advanced analytics involved in it or some type of cutesy fartsy type of stuff that people want to do. Sometimes it's straight as that. We will not lose tonight, folks. I am determined that we will not lose. And you got to go out there and show and prove. And you can call it whatever you want, or you can call it the ESPN thing. No, it's nothing about that. Sometimes there's nights like that. That's what you do as a franchise player. You don't go out there and say, you know what, we're losing to Brooklyn. We're losing to Charlotte twice after they beat us once and come back on home court and get beat again by them. You're losing to Washington after the break? That's embarrassing. Right now, the only team they've proven to be able to beat is Miami. So we ain't playing Miami 80 more times, guys. Sorry to tell you that.
The last time
you don't get to play in South Beach for 80 more times. It ain't working out with you.
The last time I saw something like this, in terms of what you're talking about, a good example for people with more shorter term memory is Pascal's game against the Knicks. Now, people will remember Pascal's game against the Knicks, but they won't remember what led up to it. They were on a 6-game losing streak. And Pascal said, to heck with this. We're going to live and die by me.
Right.
Sorry?
Right. Enough of the 0.5 BS in this case here. That's what you need sometimes.
I don't think, was it that year? I think it was still Nick Nurse. Was Nick.
I gave a Darko example with the same very Washington team, where they're down like 20-something points.
Yeah, where he had like 40-something points in the game.
Yeah,
and then before that, it was the Dallas game and stuff like that, where at some point it's like, I'm just sick of losing. Just give me the damn ball.
Give me the damn ball. You do what the hell. You drag it to a W.
I understand some folks will say, well, Pascal should have done that more often. Probably, sure. I totally agree with that. This ain't about Pascal. He ain't here. This is just an example. Lowry has had games like that before. I don't know if you remember the old days of open gym. Right? There was one where he just had a towel over his head. People came in and he's just like this. And he was just depressed. The next game he came out and he's just like, no, I'm taking the bull by the horns and we're going to win this. And that is, if you're like...
Well, I mean, as a Mavericks fan, I remember
Sorry?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go for it. No.
A bit of a lag. Go ahead. No. Yeah, just to give your Lowry point, other more weight around it as well too is the Dallas game. I remember that Sunday afternoon. I'm sitting here watching Dallas trap them all day long, and they're giving up the ball. They're down 30, and Lowry and a bunch of scrubs come out there and just start going haywire from 3.
I remember that. I remember there was.
That was one of Lowry's best games I've ever seen him play.
Was it a 28-point comeback or something like that? Yeah, one of the best I've seen. Sometimes you got to do it. Now, I'm not saying that it won't happen, but we got to see it. And that type of game, it changes you. It changes you. If you can do that, it changes you. Because now you're like, okay, it galvanizes a team around a guy. But right now, it looks like Darko is coming in with a plan that gets beat up very easily each time.
Yes. Yes, it reminds me of like if you could take a football analogy, when a coach scripts out the first 10 plays, and like everyone knows the first 10 plays by then, and then he's got nothing left back after he gets past the first 10 plays. It's like, okay, what you got for encore, buddy?
Yes. We'll just do another Hail Mary.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We'll do a flea flicker. Let's try that out. But
So,
that's pretty much what we're down to at Darko.
so let's just talk briefly because we've talked on stream, but it's nice sometimes to have a back and forth. Um, we talked a little bit about whether or not we should be getting a center. I gave you my thoughts. I said like a backup center, say it's Gafford as an example, just tossing out a name so that people can put the face to the name or whatever. Does Gafford make you better? Yeah, of course. Does he change the fortunes of the team? No. You might win like an extra game or two. You might be one peg up on the playoff ladder, right? And I know people are saying, "Oh, well, the team's not ready to win." No, you don't say.
Don't you love that? When it suits them, it's like they're not ready to win, and then next thing you know, they come with the same argument a week later after 2 wins. Oh man, we're gonna be top three. I love it, man.
My favorite is, well, where were you during the 9-game winning streak? It's like I've been here the whole time.
Exactly. It's fun. You can check our podcast out too, in case you want to know what we thought about the 9-game winning streak.
Yes.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
And it's like this is good, but it's like some of these games are a little tighter than they need to be against teams that you should be whooping. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's a long season, but it is in some ways, if there's going to be a move that's made, regardless of what that move will be, this is coming at the right time so that you kind of have the medicine pill happening. It's like, all right, well, gotta just take the Dynatap, you know, and see how you feel after.
Yeah, you got it right, man. You got it right. Like this is the part where it kind of cracks me up because to your point, if they say they made a deal for Gafford, yeah, it's marginally on the margins and it might help out, but this team is so systemically broken that I don't people realize how bad it's systemically broken. I heard something. I will just say this: an individual that we both know in this case made some type of revelation finally and realized that the offense in this case here might not be so conducive to the players that are on there. I was like, really? I was like, what hymn book you reading out of all of a sudden? Like, hello. Welcome to the party, pal. Since it's that time of season, yeah. It's like no kidding. It's like it's about time.
This offense it's not the worst idea of an offense, but it's an offense that is. You know what this offense would do well at if you had Gasol and Lowry and like a whole bunch of vets that have nothing to prove, and they're just ready to win. And the ball is just zipping around. That's what this is for. It's not where, two guys are trying to figure out who is the point guard, who's the captain, one of which does not have the skills to be a point guard, and the other one does not have the brain for the point guard in terms of how his mind is wired. Not saying he's not smart, not saying that, but his mind is not wired like a traditional point guard of distributing the ball. And so you have these kind of give and takes. I think some people are going to feel umbrage with this, but whatever, I don't care. Fred VanVleet, I heard him talk, and he was talking about how the team would get together back in the day and what brought them together. He said, we weren't really, we didn't have one thing that kind of brought us together. It was just about professionalism and winning. And then he made the comment, he's like, we weren't running around, having no party, having no pizza party and stuff like that. And it's funny, right? But it's true.
Pizza party?
Yeah, he's the pizza party. He said, hey, we have no pizza party. Right? And I'm not the biggest Fred fan. Not a big fan of his game. However, I will say, sometimes Fred talk a little bit too much, but he ain't wrong. I ain't never heard of Nick Nurse have no pizza party.
I like the Captain America quote there with Sam Wilson. He's like, yo, he out of line, but he got a point.
He really do. So,
oh man, but now all of a sudden the revelations in the last 48 hours have been amazing. How all of a sudden everyone's seen the light, scales coming off of people's eyes now, questioning the offense. It's like, really wondering this season, are we deficient of talent? You don't say. With roster construction. Tell me more.
And then, because the thing is, you can't have all the excuses, right? Oh, it's a young team. Okay, well, if it's a young team, why aren't you playing your number 9 pick more?
Right,
Okay?
right, right.
Well, they're trying to win, blah, blah, blah. Well, it doesn't look like they're winning against the teams that they should be winning against because Washington is trying to lose.
Right, right. Exactly. Exactly. Now, I made a proclamation to you guys. Well, I don't think Coach was on the time, but I made it with you, and I think on one of the shows a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I said, I'm pretty sure by the time we get to the calendar season, the Raptors will be in the play. And I am not backing off of that right now.
It's
okay. They escaped the play-in last night. Okay. They escaped the play-in possibly last night with a Herculean effort by Charlotte to beat Orlando, and Chicago on fire these days to take out Philly. Those two guys get the wins last night. You might have been seeing 7th right then and there. They are hanging on by fingernails right now like this, just trying to hold on.
I'll give a shout out to Stranger Things. It's like the Demogorgon holding on.
There you go. Yeah. The missus will appreciate that one there, man. She's been all there all week.
There you go. Yeah, shout out to Miss Beyond.
yes. That was a private discussion about that one, boy. She's locked in.
Yes,
she's locked in. Oh man, but I think right now you see like there's some systemic issues where you don't have enough guys to actually create their own shot. You don't have enough. To your point, you're not playing the young guys. This is the part that frustrates me. Hey, Grady's been stinking up the joint. But people act like all of a sudden Grady forgot to play ball. It's not like Grady forgot to play ball. He's actually been doing
good at everything right now. Yeah, like I saw the bit of the Washington game, and he did decent on defense, and he just can't shoot.
He can't shoot. Right? He's not right. And this is the thing. And here's the ironic part. I heard someone mention this the other day. I think it was last night. So I can't remember what to give props to, but I'm pretty sure you could confirm this as well too. But supposedly most of the lines of Grady's in are positive lineups.
Yeah, they are. Because the same thing with Battle. It's like, even though he's not shooting, teams are guarding him like he is shooting.
Right, exactly. Still a threat. And I'm sitting there going like, they don't actually use the threat to actually to convince people that, you know what? So like this idea is like, I said, I can't blame a young guy. In this case, you're killing his confidence. All he's doing is running between the 3-point lines all day long. And
the confidence factor is something. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No.
The confidence factor is something that people do not talk about enough.
Exactly. Because how a guy's wired, you've mentioned this before, right? We take the two young guys that we're talking about here, Jacoby and him. Jacoby in this case has a confidence factor. It doesn't matter if he's 0 for 15. He can go out there gunning. So he can be all right in that sense. To your point, Grady in this case, some guys are like this, man. You got to kind of nurture them to get to there. If you're part of this development guru, you can't put him out there as an 8-year vet in this case here. Oh, he'll figure it out. No, man. Yeah. You got to feed him something, man. We're running plays for a bunch of jokers out here that you can get, and I'm sitting there going, like, Grady can't get touched. He gets like 3 shots a night. Really? That's what we're doing?
Yeah, you got to build someone's confidence and then go from there. You got to do, almost like the Malachi Flynn, I want to see you smile. Well, can I get the ball?
Exactly. Because if you had to tell me at the beginning of the year, I'm pretty sure this is the case. But you didn't tell me in this case that Jamal Shea would have more shot attempts than Grady did. That should not equate on anyone's whiteboard, right? But then these folks will be talking about, Grady, this and that. We got to send him to 905. It's like, really? This dude is built in this case to go and score. And you're out here giving him 2 shots a night in this case, like he is Jameson Battle.
Yeah. And the problem is that, like, a guy like Jamal Shea, he's been good. He's been good.
Yeah.
He's, like, the 40-something pick or whatever it is? Like, it's, like, come on, man. Like,
what are we doing?
We can aim a little higher. It's a little...
Right, they don't though. That the thing is, they shrunk the ceiling of these young guys. Like instead, this is the mindset I'm thinking. Like, let's see how good they can be. But the Raptors don't think in that way. The Raptors say, "Oh, you're gonna slot in this role here, and this will be your role for the next 5 years." Why would you do that to any young player?
And I'm not saying that you have to let CFB run the offense. What I'm saying is, and I think what you're saying is, you go through a game. These guys should be. Especially when they play well. But even if they don't, they shouldn't be looking over their shoulders. You're still considering yourself a young team. You're still, according to the coach, rebuilding team. Year 2. Okay, great. Well, if you are rebuilding and you are two years into a rebuild, then you should be playing these guys through the mistakes. You should be giving them some chances, and also getting them the ball in places where they're more comfortable and more able to succeed, and not just Ochai. Okay, I want to see someone other than Ochai in a situation where they're able to be successful.
As we say almost every month, why is Ochai getting in it? Well, I'll just leave it there again.
Been saying it for a long, long time.
So,
do you have any prescriptions for answers for this team? 'Cause I have some, but yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things, well, my mindset is like, if this roster stays as is, a trade's not going to save you at this point here. I don't think so because there's too many issues. But going back to our previous discussion, I think you guys got to go with the 3 young guys off the bench and just let them grow and let them do their thing. Yeah. And it might be one of these classic them of 1 step backwards, 2 steps forward in the long run. But I don't think this management team has that type of insight or that type of foresight, you'd say. And I definitely think Dark, who's trying to hang on to his job, is not going to put that faith in these 3 young guys to do so. Those young guys should be getting 25 to 30 minutes, 25 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Right?
Whether they're bad or good, they're going to get better as they play.
Yeah.
So right? I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. So that's where I see it because the thing the problem that Bobby's going to have real soon is the choice might be made for him in about a month's time. And that's where he's going to be in a backed up corner. And then it's going to get very dangerous because if he's going to make some stupid deal, that causes an issue and sets us back. Do
you think that he would have buy-in from ownership to make a big swing?
Depends how bad things get. Right? Because if all these guys are worried about...
Because he has to have buy-in, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that if the bottom line is just like if the objective was this summer, besides got too much power, kick him out, and we want to make sure that we got enough hot buns sitting in the seats, right? Therefore, put some competitive product out there, and all of a sudden now we're 1 for 11 street. Now it's mid-January, and all of a sudden we're starting to see gray seats in the middle of these TSN Sportsnet games. Well, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have your new Pearl coming, your new Brandon Ingram. They've done it before, folks. And where has it led to us?
So, what would be the best situation? Actually, we could talk about this later. But what I would say is, yeah. But here's where I'm at. We're not that far apart. Mm-hmm. I agree with playing the young guys. I think that you should have no allegiances on who's on this team. I think realistically, you don't build around a single player. Scotty Barnes is not a player that you build around, and you don't build around a single player. I've been saying this for years. You build around a core. So if you want Scotty Barnes to be part of the core, cool, great, sure, fine. If that is your prerogative, but identify a core, and if it ain't working, it's not like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It broke. Okay, it's busted. So at some point, you have to decide what you're gonna do. Okay. You're not going to be able to answer all questions. I think getting a center, I know everyone's clamoring for a center. I would not get a center. I would get someone who could run an offense, whether it's this guy or another. And I would identify players that could survive the regime change in case it happens. In other words, more portable players that will make you better. Now, that might mean going for like a Darius Garland or whoever. I don't know. But the point is you want players that are going to be, whether you're drafting or otherwise, who are going to be here and be valuable regardless across different iterations of the team for right now. That's the first thing. The other thing is that, to your point, there's not a single magic wand type thing. I can't, hey, beyond, if I could wave a magic wand, you could fix one problem. Well, that problem won't, say you fix the rebounding. I've heard people say, okay, you go get Marvin Bagley or something like that, or, I don't know, James Wiseman, who just got cut. Like, that's going to make a big difference. It's not. And we don't even have yeah, and we don't even have the point guard to make use of that, right? So it's at some point, like, that's why I keep going back to the point guard. Point guards make a big difference in terms of your development, getting guys into comfort spots. Because if your coach won't do it, the point guard will. If you have the right point guard. And that's why I keep focusing on the point guard, the point guard, the point guard, the point guard, the point guard. Scotty Barnes right now, he's driving less, right? His efficiency is going down, and he's like Joel Embiid midway through a playoff game where he's going further and further away from the hoop. And anytime he goes back towards the hoop, not this past game, but the game before, not against SAR, but against Miami, where he's at home, he feels comfortable, and he's going. All of those were going to the hoop. Not all of those were self-created. There's a lot of assisted buckets in the stretch. I actually looked at it. This is another step, and a lot in the stretch of within November, really. And you look at a lot of those games. What you're seeing is a lot of those games. His assisted 2-point percentage buckets, they were assisted at a rate of like 50 to 60% on average. You're now seeing him have to create more. Now, part of that is RJ's gone. Part of that is other things. But at the end of the day, his life is now made harder. And if his life is made harder, then you got to think long term. What makes it easier? Again, I'm with whoever wants to, pick a guy that you want on the team. The point guard will help those people. It would help Scotty Barnes. It would help Scotty Barnes if he's not here too. It would help CMB, right? It would help. Name a player, it will help them, right? Getting a good, solid, strong point guard.
Well, I agree with that, but at some point I look at it as like at some point Scotty Barnes got to help Scotty Barnes.
He does.
And it's year 5. And at some point, dude, year 5, we can't be still having these questions about someone helping you out, man.
I agree. You have to be the rising tide that lifts all boats if you're going to be in that conversation. But if he's not, it depends. If he's not in that conversation, then he's not in that conversation. It's
This is a different discussion that folks aren't willing to have because that clock is also ticking. Like the sands of time, these are the days of our lives.
Is it ticking or is it done ticking? I thought it was done ticking.
In my mind, in this case here, I know where my head's at right now. But I'm talking about the dude that's right now running his team, Bobby Webster. Because at this point here, you have to look at, and this I said on Christmas Day. I haven't gone so far with Scotty, but I said with Mobley. At some point, with how this CBA is and how punishing it is, that if you have 2 max players, you best have the 2 right max players. Because if you do not, you are screwed.
Well, Mobley's a bit different, to be fair, because he's a supermax, so it's a little bit tougher.
That's what I'm saying.
With Scotty and the Raptors, it's a bit different because we only have 1 max player technically, which is him. Everyone else does not make max, yeah.
Well, here is my point. If you have 2
percentage of the cap wise,
right? If you have 2 percentages of the 2 top things, call it max, wherever you want to call it, as the 2 top things, 2 top slots for your contract.
Yeah.
If you have Scotty Barnes or even Evan Mobley in this case as one of your 2, and they're playing as this case like a 3rd option, that's a problem.
Can I defend my man?
You can defend him all you like. I watched him on Christmas Day. It wasn't fun to watch.
All I am going to say is that he did come off an injury, and he did return that day.
That's a whole other problem.
And the other guy does not have that excuse.
I'm just saying, I know both in this case are like Casper sometimes. I can barely find them on the court sometimes. I'm listening around. I watched that man play for a half a quarter. I barely heard his name called on Christmas Day.
Hey, man. You gotta let other people shine.
The dude call. I heard Dean Wade, Evan Mobley's name get called. I'm sorry. That's what it is, huh? No, dude, you on the marquee, you getting all that money, super max, whoever it is, DPOY.
Listen,
you gotta show up, man.
This is about playing the right way. When you play the right way.
Really? Right way, huh? Right there? 26 minutes, ain't doing a damn thing sitting on the bench in the 4th quarter? That's play the right way? Yes. Let's play the right way, huh?
Yes.
Right, yes. While Mitchell Robinson and Cat are having your lunch? Okay, let's play the right way. I see. Okay. But back to the team in this city. I know what you're doing for now.
We're talking about Scotty and we're talking about Mobley.
Scotty, same thing, man. You gotta show up against these bottom feeders. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. I can't sit on my chair and seeing you getting 14 points against guys like Brooklyn and Washington. And
you can't have a 0-point game against Charlotte.
Right. I'm sorry. And then folks try to justify it's just a bad night. He's gonna do so much. Like, give me a break. That's what you get paid $200+ million for. Yeah. But you can't have. What I'm saying is, you can't in this new CBA. We don't have the luxury anymore of having 3rd option dudes getting top 1, top 2 type money. And if that's what you are, that is going to be very difficult for us to make moves in the future. That's all I'm saying.
The evaluation, and I've said this as well, the evaluation of what to do and whatnot, it needs to come fast. right? That's
Yes.
why I keep stressing on Grady and Jacoby is like they need to play more because you need to know what they are by the end of the year. Jacoby, you technically have another year, but you really want by the third season, you want to have seen the flashes and then say, okay, now let's put this guy in a position to succeed. I am so sorry. I don't even know what's going on. Those are the Raptors leaving.
They left a couple nights earlier. Okay.
Hey, I think that is a good cue to end.
Yes. You waved off, flagged off.
That is a great cue to end. On that note, it's Basketball Rewind. It's loud out here. Hope everyone enjoys this episode when it comes out. And stay locked in, and we are going to be covering the team more with more shorts and all that kind of stuff. Check out Beyond Locker Room stuff. And yeah, enjoy the gear up for the new year, as the Raptors will be. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, Bobby, poke, do something. And yeah, take care and peace. There you go.